Mike Schilt is barking at Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts out of the dugout. The managers are going to come face to face, standing in between them.
The air crackles. You can feel the tension through the screen. A high and tight fastball, a batter hit, and a manager absolutely unglued. The dugout gate swings open, and a furious Mike Schilt is on the field, his eyes locked on the opposing dugout. And who emerges to meet him? None other than Dave Roberts. For a moment, the game stops. It's not about bats and balls anymore. It's about pride. It's about a rivalry that has finally reached its boiling point. And it's about the brutal, beautiful fight for the soul of the NL West. This is what baseball is all about, and you've come to the right place to break it all down. Welcome to Baseball Extra, the show that gives you the stories behind the box scores. Let's get into it. For the better part of a decade, there's been a famous quote from the TV show Mad Men that perfectly encapsulated the dynamic between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. A character looks at the protagonist, Don Draper, and says with pity, "I feel bad for you." And Draper, without missing a beat, replies, "I don't think about you at all." For years, the Dodgers were Don Draper. While they were busy winning 11 of the last 12 NL West titles and battling their historic rivals, the San Francisco Giants, the Padres were the scrappy younger brother, desperately trying to get their attention, nipping at their heels, and always falling short. The Dodgers, with their massive payroll and string of Hall of Fame talent, could simply look down their noses and say, "We don't think about you at all." Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're thinking about them now. The San Diego Padres are officially the Dodgers' biggest problem. After a relentless campaign, fueled by one of the most aggressive trade deadlines we have ever seen, the Padres have done the unthinkable. On Wednesday night, they officially caught the Dodgers, taking sole possession of first place in the division. To put that in perspective, this is the latest in a season the Padres have been alone in first place since 2010. The sleeping giant has awakened. And what's the reward for this incredible achievement? A one-game lead and an immediate trip straight into the belly of the beast, a 3-game weekend series at Dodger Stadium. This isn't just a series. It's a statement. It's a pressure cooker. And let's not forget, the last time these two teams got together in June, we saw a bench-clearing brawl that had the entire league talking. This weekend is poised to be absolute fireworks. Let's break down the stakes for this monumental series. Game 1 on Friday night is a classic. You have a future first-ballot Hall of Famer, Clayton Kershaw, taking the mound for the Dodgers. Kershaw at home is a legend in his own right. The roar of that crowd when he takes the field, the precision of his slider, it's what makes him an icon. He understands the gravity of this Dodgers versus Padres matchup better than anyone. The Padres were supposed to counter with their own ace, Michael King, a guy they acquired in that blockbuster trade and who has been phenomenal for them. But in a brutal twist of fate, just as the team needs him most, King is back on the injured list with left knee inflammation after making only one start. This is a massive blow. The pressure now shifts to the rest of their rotation and, more importantly, their bullpen. Can they piece it together against the Dodgers' formidable lineup without their top arm? It complicates everything and puts the Padres in a difficult position right from the opening pitch. This series is the story of the entire weekend in baseball. It's more than just wins and losses. It's about momentum and psychology. If the Padres can go into LA under those bright lights and take this series, they send a message to the entire National League that they are the new power in the West. If the Dodgers defend their home turf, they reassert their dominance and remind everyone just who has owned this division for a decade. And get this, after a follow-up series next weekend in San Diego, these two teams won't play each other again for the rest of the regular season. Every pitch, every at-bat, every single moment is going to count, because the next time they meet could be in October, with everything on the line. While the West Coast prepares for a heavyweight bout, let's turn our attention north of the border, where another future Hall of Famer is trying to turn back the clock. At 41 years old, Mad Max Scherzer is still on the mound, still bringing that signature intensity, and still trying to will a team to a championship. When the Toronto Blue Jays acquired the 3-time Cy Young winner, they weren't just adding an arm. They were adding a mentality. This is a Blue Jays team that is overflowing with young talent, a team that feels like it's on the cusp of something special. But they needed a veteran bulldog, a guy who has been through the playoff wars and knows what it takes to win. They needed Max Scherzer. And on Thursday afternoon against the Chicago Cubs, one of the best offensive teams in baseball, Scherzer showed exactly why he's still one of the most feared pitchers in the game. He was magnificent. For 7 innings, he was in complete control, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits. He was locating his fastball with pinpoint accuracy, painting the corners, and keeping hitters off balance. It was a vintage performance that led the Blue Jays to a crucial 2-1 victory. Here's what Max had to say after the game. That was his 219th career victory. And if he continues to pitch like that, he won't just be a veteran presence. He'll be the guy they hand the ball to in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. His performance is absolutely critical for a Toronto team that is looking to make a deep run in the MLB playoff race. But this game had another fascinating subplot. It marked the MLB debut of Cubs top prospect, Owen Casey, who happens to be Canadian. Imagine that, making your big league debut in your home country. In the 2nd inning, Casey smoked a ball to left center field that looked like a surefire double, his first major league hit. But Blue Jays left fielder David Schneider had other plans, making an absolutely spectacular diving catch to rob him. A tough welcome to the big leagues for the kid, but a perfect example of the kind of defense and all-around effort the Blue Jays are playing with right now. They believe this is their year, and with Scherzer leading the charge, they just might be right. All right, Mets fans, you might want to cover your ears for this next segment, because what is happening in Queens is becoming a historically painful late-season collapse. For fans of the New York Mets, it's a horror movie they've seen before, a recurring nightmare of blown leads and games slipping through their fingers. We are witnessing the authorship of another epic meltdown. On Wednesday, the Mets had a comfortable 6-0 lead over the Braves, only to give up 11 unanswered runs in a gut-wrenching loss. You'd think it couldn't get any worse, but Thursday's loss might have felt even more painful. The Mets battled to take a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning. They brought in their big deadline acquisition, Ryan Helsley, to lock down the 8th inning and secure a much-needed win. He did not lock it down. The red-hot Michael Harris tied the game with an RBI double, and then Ozzie Albies delivered the final blow with an RBI double of his own. The Braves held on to win 4-3, sweeping the series and leaving Citi Field in stunned silence. The numbers are just staggering. The Mets have now lost 13 of their last 15 games, and in 8 of those losses, they have held the lead. This isn't just bad luck. It's a team that has completely lost its ability to close out games. The bullpen is in shambles, the offense disappears in crucial moments, and the pressure is mounting. Their lead in the wild card race, which once seemed secure, has evaporated. As of today, it's down to a razor-thin half game over the Cincinnati Reds. The Mets are in a freefall, and if they can't pull out of this nosedive soon, their promising season will end in spectacular disaster. This is a key storyline to watch in the MLB playoff race, as a spot that seemed locked up is now completely up for grabs. Now let's spin around the league and check in on the other tight races heating up as we head into the final stretch. First, to the out west, where the Seattle Mariners' magical run has hit a speed bump. After an 8-game winning streak that saw them tie the Houston Astros for first place, they ran into a buzzsaw in the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles walked them off on Wednesday and beat them again on Thursday, 5-3. The Mariners have now fallen a game and a half behind the idle Astros. Seattle fans better become big Orioles fans for the next 10 days, as Baltimore has 7 games scheduled against Houston. The Orioles could play the ultimate spoiler in that division race. Meanwhile, in the American League wildcard hunt, the race for the final spot is getting intense. Jose Ramirez, one of the most underrated superstars in the game, went 3 for 4 with 2 stolen bases as the Cleveland Guardians crushed the Miami Marlins 9-4. For any unhappy Mets fans out there, here's a silver lining. Yankees fans are starting to feel the heat too. With that victory, the Guardians have crept to within half a game of the New York Yankees for that final wild-card position. The pressure is mounting in the Bronx. Elsewhere, the Philadelphia Phillies, who have been cruising in the NL East, have suddenly hit a rough patch. They dropped another one to the Washington Nationals, 3-2, marking their first 3-game losing streak since way back in June. It's likely just a blip, but it's a reminder that nothing is guaranteed in this sport. And finally, out in the desert, Eduardo Rodriguez of the Arizona Diamondbacks had his best start of the year, going 7 strong innings and giving up just 1 run in a win over the Rockies. It's wins like these that keep teams' hopes alive on the fringes of the playoff picture. Here at Baseball Extra, we stick around for every game, no matter how late, because every single one has a story. What a week in baseball, and the weekend is shaping up to be even bigger. The entire baseball world will have its eyes on Los Angeles for that seismic clash between the Dodgers and the Padres. A decade of dominance is being challenged right before our very eyes. Will the old guard stand tall, or is it time for a new king in the NL West? We will be here to break it all down for you next week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Baseball Extra. If you love deep dive baseball analysis and don't want to miss a single moment of this thrilling playoff race, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments below, who are you taking in the big series this weekend, the Dodgers or the Padres? Until next time, enjoy the games.